Year 1592, Kim Taehyung. Taehyung is a king. He has everything: money, power, good luck, family, and love. Yet he is unhappy. The reason for his unhappiness is because when he was 12 years old, he suddenly developed a strange problem. Whenever he touches someone, his skin turned red and he experienced a burning sensation. His father tried every possible way to cure him, but nothing worked. Neither priests nor waids in ancient times could help him. The curse remained unbroken. Kim Naira Taehyung. Naira is Taehyung's wife and childhood bride. After her parent dismissed, she stayed with Taehyung family. Although she is Taehyung's wife, she can't live with him because of his condition. However, Taehyung loves her deeply and always take care of her. Naira is content with their relationship despite the limitations. Kim Yu Taehyung Yu was a maid in the royal palace until they discovered Yu was the only person Taehyung could touch without pain. This revelation led to Yu being forced to marry Taehyung, becoming his second wife. Other characters: Taehyung's grandmother, Mrs. Kim, Taehyung's mother, Mr. Kim, Taehyung's father, Sunaina, Taehyung's auntie, father, sisters. After her husband's death, she stays with the family along with her son Deva and daughter-in-law Heir. In palace, the Kim came Taehyung marched towards his room with a cold-faced, stoic expression. His guards followed him silently, ensuring his path was clear until he reached the door to his chambers. Taehyung and Naira's room. Upon entering, the hardness in his demeanor softened. His eyes fell on his childhood friend, wife, and love Naira. Naira caught sight of his reflection in the mirror and turned towards him. She gave him a bright smile. Naira, Taehyung, you are here. I was waiting for you. Taehyung signed as he removed his crown and replied, Taehyung, Naira, how many times have I told you to not wait for me and to eat your dinner? I don't like it when you stay hungry for me. Naira smiled and walked close to him. Naira, I like waiting for you. It is the one thing that makes me feel like your wife. Otherwise, we can't do anything a husband and wife normally do. I can't hold your hand, touch you, or even share a bed with you. Taehyung's heart sank at her words. He felt a pang of guilt as he looked at her sad face, knowing he couldn't give her the happiness she deserved as his wife. She couldn't even console her when she cried. Naira quickly wiped her tears, putting on a brave face. Naira, leave all this. You must be hungry. Let's go. Everyone is waiting for us. Dining room. Taehyung nodded and they walked together to the dining area where his parents, grandmother, aunt Sunaina, cousin Dev, and Dev's wife were already eating. Taehyung and Naira took their seats and began their meal. Taehyung's grandmother cleared her throat as everyone ate, grabbing everyone's attention. She began, Grandmother, I want to announce something. All eyes turned toward her as she continued. Grandmother, as well all know, Taehyung's condition prevents him from fulfilling the requirements of becoming king. He is 24 now, and next year he will be eligible to ascend the throne. But to become king, an heir is required, which is impossible in his current state. In these 3 months, it will be his birthday. If a remainder isn't found by then, I will declare Dev as the next king. A broad smile spread across the events Surena face. Their long-held dream was finally within reach. In contrast, Taehyung and his parents sat quietly, deeply troubled by this decision. It had always been Taehyung's dream to rule kingdom and turn it into a propitious land, but he knew that with his condition, he could never fulfill the tradition. Taehyung was pulled out of thoughts by his father's voice. Next came, Mother, what are you saying? You know that only Taehyung has the capability and skills to be a great king. How can you do this? Grandmother sighed deeply. Do you think this decision make me happy? I love Taehyung more than anything, but you know his condition. Without an heir, he can't become king, as it is against the rules, and I can't go against him. Taehyung father was about to argue further, but Taehyung interrupted. Taehyung father, grandmother is right. We can't do anything about this. Anger boiled inside Taehyung as he stormed out of the dining area. In his as Taehyung bumped into a maid carrying a tray. He stumbled and the tray clattered on the ground. The maid quickly studied him, asking worriedly, Maid, Your Majesty, are you okay? Taehyung's eyes flashed with anger as he turned towards her. Her face was partially veiled, but she appeared worried, already overwhelmed with frustration and helpless. Taehyung lashed out at her, venting his fury. Taehyung glared angrily at the maid whose eyes were hidden behind her veil. Already furious over recent events, he vented his rage on her. Grabbing her hand, he shouted, Taehyung, don't you have eyes, you stupid girl? If you want to your work properly, then don't bother coming here again. Get out. He pushed her hand away with a jerk and stormed off towards his room, leaving everyone in stunned silence. Taehyung's mother was the first to compose herself. She turned to the maid and asked, Grandmother, what is your name? Throw her. Her silent tears, the maid responded softly, Maid, you. Grandmother nodded and then ordered all the servants, including you, to leave the room. Mrs. Kim, Ma, what do you think? Do you believe Taehyung has been cured? Is he fine now? Her voice trembled with a mix of tear and hope. Mrs. Kim, we can't be certain yet, replied calmly, though his heart was heavy with hope. Grandmother, we have to wait and consult. Wait, let's hope for the best. Grandmother rose from her chair, requested for a servant, and instructed them to summon Taehyung to courtroom. Then she headed towards the courtroom, followed closely by the rest of the family. Taehyung and Naira's room. In his room, Taehyung paced back and forth. His anger is stormed within him. He was furious with the god for cursing him with his affliction. As a child, he had longed to hug his mother for comfort at night, or seek solace in her arms when upset, but he could only watch her from a distance. Now, as a man, his frustration had deepened. He yearned for a normal life to touch his wife, kiss her, and build a family, but this curse denied him all of it. His life felt ruined, his dreams of fatherhood shattered by an application that barred him from even the simplest choice. A knock on the door interrupted his thoughts. A servant stood at the threshold and said, staring at the ground, "Servant, King, Big Queen is calling you." Taehyung nodded, claiming himself, and made his way to the courtroom where only his family awaited him. Courtroom. After some time, his grandmother's calm voice broke the silence. "Grandmother, Taehyung, do you realize what happened in the dining area?" Taehyung closed his eyes, replaying the scene in his mind. He recalled how he had lashed out at the servant. With guilt in his voice, he said, "Taehyung, I'm sorry, Grandma, it was my fault. It won't happen again." But his grandma interrupted him. "Grandmother, I'm not referring to your anger, Taehyung. Didn't you notice you held that servant hand and yet you were fine? No burning sensation, no rashes." Taehyung froze, her words sticking in. She was right. When he had grabbed the maid's hand, he had felt nothing unusual. "Taehyung, does this mean I'm cured? That I'm alright now? That I can touch others?" Taehyung asked, hopefully his voice before anyone could answer. Another voice interjected, "Wait, King, let me confirm first." Taehyung turned to see the palace healer entering the room. Taehyung's father quickly explained everything that had happened. Wade nodded thoughtfully and turned to Naira. "Wade, small queen, please step forward." Naira compiled, standing before him. Wade then asked Taehyung to touch her hand. Instead, Taehyung reached out and lightly touched Naira's hand, but within seconds he recoiled in pain as a burning sensation shot through him. Disappointment filled the room. Their hope was dashed once more, but Wade wasn't done. He turned to the queen and said, "Wade, please summon the same servant." The queen immediately ordered a guard to bring you. 5 minutes later, you entered the courtroom hesitatingly, your steps slow and fearful. You were trembling, terrified that you would be punished for angering the king. Standing before Taehyung, your face still covered by the veil, you joined your hand and pleaded, your voice breaking. "You, king, please forgive me. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. Please, I beg you, I will not repeat this mistake again. I won't even enter the palace again. Just forgive me this one time." Taehyung glanced at Wade, who gestured for him to proceed. Tentatively, he placed his hand on Yu's joined hand. To his surprise, nothing happened. No burning, no pain. You flinched at his touch and tried to pull your hand away, but he tightened his grip. "Taehyung, stay still, groaned. It will take me less than 10 seconds to have your head cut off if you move again." You froze, too terrified to resist further. After a tense 5 minutes, Wade instructed you to leave. Once you was gone, Wade turned to the queen. "Wait, queen, please give me some time. I will give you a full explanation tomorrow." Taehyung and Naira soon. With that, he left the room. That night, Taehyung sat on his bed, lost in thought over the day's event. Naira entered the room carrying a glass of milk. "Naira, what are you thinking about?" Holding out the glass to him. Taehyung, "About what happened today," admitted, taking a sip. "I am worried about what Wade will say tomorrow." Naira, "Don't overthink it," consoled him. "Everything will be alright." Taehyung nodded, finishing the milk, and the two retired to their separate beds of the night. Meanwhile, Dev entered his room angrily and started throwing everything around. His wife walked in and asked, "Dev, wife, what are you doing, Dev?" Dev glared at her, stormed over, and grabbed her hair in a fist. He snarled, "Dev, you have no right to question me, you useless woman. It is only because of Taehyung, who treated you as a sister, that I am tolerating you. Otherwise, I would have thrown you out of this house and my bloody useless woman." He pushed her away, causing her to fall to the floor. Dev stared at her for a full minute before storming out of the room. Farah sat there, tears streaming down her face, cursing her fate. Taehyung, her brother's best friend, had always treated her like a sister. It was they who had sent the marriage proposal, and Farah had agreed because he liked him. He was caring before marriage, but everything changed after the wedding. He treated her like trash, wiping her tears. Farah began cleaning the room. Time skips. Next day, living room. The next morning, Taehyung's furious voice echoed through the hall. "Taehyung, Grandma, what are you saying? How can I marry that servant? No, never." Grandmother signed and replied calmly, "Taehyung, this is our only option. You need an heir to being the king, and that girl is our only choice." Taehyung, "But Grandma, she is a servant, and besides, I can't betray Naira." He glanced at Naira, who stood nearby, her eyes brimmed with tears as she stared at the floor. "Grandmother," Taehyung, her tone firm, "stop thinking as a husband or lover, and start thinking as the king of kingdom. We all know Dev is incapable of ruling. This kingdom needs you, and that girl is our only option." Miss Kim added, "It is true, son. They only understand the power of a king, not his duties. This is about this kingdom future." Taehyung closed his eyes, struggling with their words. Deep down, he knew they were right. They could never be king. Grandmother continued, only for a few months. Once we have the Heir, we will give the servant girl money and send her away. The child will belong to you and Naira in the eyes of the world. Left with no other choice, Taehyung took a deep breath and announced, Taehyung, fine, I will do it. But she will stay with me only until the child is born, and I will never accept her as my wife. As soon as he said this, Naira ran out of the hall in a Taehyung and Naira's room. Taehyung followed her to the room. When he entered, he saw Naira sitting on the floor crying. He knelt beside her and said, Taehyung, Naira, please forgive me. I know this is wrong, but it is about my duty as a king. Dev isn't fit for the throne. Please try to understand. Naira looked up at him, her voice trembled. I am not angry at you. I understand the situation. It is just I can't wait to see you with someone else. Taehyung, pick up a handkerchief and wipe her tears without touching her skin. Thank you for understanding, Naira. I am lucky to have you as my wife. I promise you, Naira, I will never accept her as my wife. You will always be the mother of my child. Naira nodded slowly, her heart aching. But she forced herself to smile for him. Time skips serving water. You sat on the floor crying as you stared at your bridal lehenga. Just hours earlier, the king has summoned your uncle and ordered him to prepare for your wedding to Taehyung. There had been no request for the consent. It was just an order. They were forbidden from telling anyone about the marriage, leaving you confused and scared. Why did Taehyung want to marry you, a maid servant? You had always dreamed of a loving, caring husband, and Taehyung was nothing like that. But he was already married. Why was he forcing you into this marriage? Your tears flowed freely, fear gripping your heart. Yesterday events had left you terrified of him. Your mother entered the room and tried to console you, gently wiping your tears. You, mom, you, my child, please get ready. We have to leave for the palace. They are waiting for us. You clung to your mother, sobbing. You, mom, please, I don't want to marry him. I am scared of him. Please don't do this to me. Save me, please. Your mother could respond. Your auntie barked and snapped. You don't want to marry him. What do you want then? Do you want the king to kill us all? If you refuse, he will have us executed and marry you anyway. Now stop this drama and get ready. Your aunt guessed at the children and gift they had received. You, Auntie Chelsea, you should feel lucky you are becoming the king wife. Look at his wealth. Instead of being grateful, you are crying like a fool. With no other choice, you wiped your tears and began getting ready for a marriage that was nothing like the one you had imagined.